Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
Hello, and I'm Ben.
And welcome to FilmBusters.
This one's FilmBusters. Say something. Oh,
Well, Adam was supposed to say something.
we got no energy. Adam, you were meant to chime in with a little hype there.
I'm beatboxing for you.
I know, that's all you
down.
do nowadays. Beatbox in the back of the podcast. All we're getting is fucking rap fans listening to us instead of film fans.
FilmBusters.
I was laying down some beats for you to spit over, Ben, but because I know your rapping days are not that over yet.
They're not over. There's still life in this old dog yet. Trust me. Wait until I drop my next album called Into Retirement. Anyway, how's the boys? How are we, boys?
We are very well. Well, I can't
I'm
speak
all
for
good.
Adam, but I'm very well.
Well, you were ill yesterday. So
Yeah,
you're
you're not very well.
I'm 100% today. I woke up this morning feeling so revitalised.
It's because
Why?
you knew
What
you were having
happened?
a baby.
Because I just needed that little nice long sleep. That's
It's
what I
the
needed.
last one you're ever
That's what
going to
you're
have in
going
your
to
life.
get. Exactly. Tell the people what's about to change.
I'm about to have a baby in 5 days' time.
Good Lord.
Or it could be sooner.
It could be sooner, but it
So-
will be happening no matter what on the 18th.
On the 18th or
What
sooner.
about the baby really wanted to be born on the 19th?
Then it has no choice.
You should look up what famous people are born on that day, on the 18th, to make sure it's not like Hitler.
It's fine.
I'm doing it as we speak. You ready?
Yeah, go on, tell me.
First person is pretty good. John Travolta.
Okay?
Second
Not-
person,
not
Dr.
that
Dre.
Oh,
Okay.
well.
Third person, Yoko Ono. Forget that one.
This is
Okay,
stick
so
with Dr. Dre, I reckon.
there's no known serial killers.
John Travolta, Dr. Do you know what you say that? The fourth person down is a serial killer. I've never heard of him. He's called Gary Ridgway. He's 69 years old. I'll tell you a little bit about him. Gary Leon Ridgway is an American serial killer who has claimed to have taken the lives of more than 70 women by choking them to death. The bodies
Fucking
of his
hell.
first 5
Jesus.
victims were recovered from the Green River near Seattle, and therefore he was named the Green River Killer. And we're reviewing a film today called Green Book.
Wow.
I only found out the other day that I was born on the same day, not obviously the same day, but the same date, as the guy who killed Malcolm X.
That's nothing to be proud of, my friend.
It's nothing to be proud of. I'm just sharing my facts about serial killers.
Wow.
That's not a serial killer. It takes multiple to
A
be
famous killer, then.
Yes.
Paul's having a baby.
Yes, I am.
So Adam and I will be taking over podcast hosting duties for the foreseeable future. It will just be me and Adam talking to each other about
For about the
films.
next 7
And
years, I'd say.
progressively decline in quality until it finishes in about 3 episodes.
Paul, you'll be sending in the letters. We'll hear from you in the letters section. Oh shit! I thought it was Pancake Day tomorrow. When's Pancake Day?
Pancake,
Oh, 5th
Pancake
of
Day is the
March,
5th of
weeks
March.
away. Oh my lord! Yeah,
Exactly.
because-
I thought it was yesterday. I got very excited that Pancake Day yesterday when it's
Oh,
actually in
man.
March. I was highly irritated by that fact.
Well, now, see, I don't know what to do because Valentine's Day always passes us by. We don't get involved in that. But I assumed I just connected February 14th with Pancake Day. We
Yeah,
were going to
exactly.
do our pancakes on Saturday.
Well, you can
We
still
could do
do
them
pancakes on
Saturday
Saturday.
still.
I'm going to have pancakes tomorrow still.
Yes, let's do it. I'll have mine Saturday.
Yeah, well, we have many a pancake in the house.
Paul, have your pancakes on Sunday, the day before you go to the hospital for the babushka.
I will, I probably will.
I'd be
Alright.
sleeping that Sunday if I was you. That's all I'd be doing for the rest of this week.
Yes,
Just
yes.
sleep.
Anyway, this has gone on for far too long, please.
Okay, let's go to the quiz. If you haven't listened to an episode before, we do a quiz every episode where I ask Adam and Ben 2 questions. If they get it right, they get a point. If they get it wrong, I get the point. Right
That's
now,
right.
the scores are 3 for Ben, 2 for Adam, and 1 for me.
I'm in a wonderful position.
You are. But can you hold it? Can you hold that position, Ben?
Not only can I hold it, I can extend it, my son.
You can indeed.
I'm not talking of penis.
Should we go to the first question?
Yes.
Who won Best Actor in the 2018 Oscars?
We're talking leading actor, yeah?
Yes.
Fucking hell, man.
I've got supporting.
We don't want that, Adam, do we?
Fuck's sake.
Oh, Gary Oldman.
Very well done, Ben.
Oh, it
Fuck's
just
sake.
came back to me.
I could only think of Sam Rockwell.
Do you know what? That's so easy to forget about that, though. Because I haven't even seen that film, but it's such an whelming
Yeah,
winner.
it was.
Isn't it? It feels underwhelming.
Yeah.
I could only think of Sam Rockwell for supporting.
I could only think of Gosling, and I was like, no, Gosling definitely didn't win the Oscar for that.
And then I was thinking Leo, which was the year before, and then what's his name? Affleck.
Haven't you seen Darkest Hour though, Adam?
No.
I have.
Oh, it's you who's seen it. So Paul would have got
Yeah.
that question very well.
Was he worthy?
Yeah, he was very good in it.
You're the only person who enjoyed that film, apart from the Academy, and they know fuck all, as we've learned from recent news developments. Where I took the day off work to watch this Oscars. I've cancelled my leave today. You know that I can't be.
Have you actually?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Because it's just going to be Roma, favourite, and there's no tension, and fuck it.
Did you see what what's his name is? Del Toro put up on Twitter today.
What did he say?
So do you know they're talking about putting the categories in the advert so you don't see
Editing,
them?
cinematography,
And he
makeup.
said editing and cinematography. He said you obviously doesn't want any of them to go in there, but you don't pick them two because he said they are the only two categories which separate cinema from theatre. They say cinematography and editing is what makes cinema what it is.
That
Anything
is-
else is just going to the theatre because acting, makeup, wardrobe, everything else happens in the theatre. But the whole magic of cinema is down to those two categories.
That is very well put. Very well put. So what is it? 4-2-1. Oh,
Yeah, it's 4-2-1 at the moment.
you're shitting yourself, you cocksucker.
It could change. It could change.
Yeah.
It's all
Here
like
we go.
football over here.
What is the highest grossing movie ever?
Titanic.
I
Wrong.
don't believe that's true. I believe
Fuck's
it's something
sake.
very, very recent, like fucking Avengers: Infinity War.
You're both wrong, mate.
Is it Avatar? If it's Avatar, I'm gonna
It's
be highly
Avatar.
annoyed.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Avatar is
Oh.
the highest grossing movie ever.
Good
Bullshit.
Lord.
That's a point
Actually,
for me!
I'm going to take that back off because I think if you put inflation on Titanic, it would be higher.
This is tricky.
No, if inflation...
It's gone with the wind or something.
It's gone with the wind, yeah. So you
Fuck's
wouldn't wrong
sake, man.
both times, Adam, so shut
It
up.
was literally in my head. I was thinking Avengers or fucking... No, Avatar or Titanic. And I went tits up. I'm just
Yeah,
going
I would
Avengers.
I would have gone for Titanic as well, to be honest.
Would you?
Yeah.
I thought
Avatar
it'd
was
be more
highly
contemporary.
overrated.
Mm.
I didn't really care for Titanic.
No.
I've never seen Titanic, actually. Saying that.
Titanic's
That's why I don't
fine to
care.
watch once. It's boring after that. You know what happens.
I like them when they're hitting the rails.
Oh yeah, brutal.
Yeah, brutal. So, 4-2-2.
4-2-2. It is almost a football's formation.
We need another two, and we've got the formation.
That's
Next week,
right.
we will be perfect.
That's right. Wonderful. So, I am leading, and even in the next episode, if one of you answers both questions correctly, the best you could do is draw with me. So,
Indeed.
eat my dust, you.
The only thing is, Ben, what are we
Yeah,
going to do with the
please.
quiz once Paul's gone off to have his baby?
I will ask you questions, and if you get them right, you get a point, and if you get them wrong, I get the point. But I will choose all the questions.
I'll just be sitting there with the lowest score, no matter what.
You'll be sitting on 2 for the next 6
We'll,
months.
we'll give you a sympathy one every so often.
Yeah,
Oh, that's very kind of you, thank you.
you're welcome.
Should we go on to the main event?
We better do that. Let's get onto that thing.
The main event. Here is our feature topic, plus Adam might do a rubbish plot summary.
Are you fucking serious?
Right, guys, we're going to be talking about Green Book. This will be a spoiler episode, so if you haven't seen the film, then you might want to turn it off now. But if you have seen the film, or you just want to hear about the film, then carry on listening. Adam, would you like to explain the plot?
Can you hear me banging Star Wars in the background?
Banging Star Wars.
Yes, you probably have a little, fleshlight that's in the shape of Princess Leia or something.
That's not
Adam,
there.
stop that knocking.
But anyway, so Green Book was about a musician and his driver, and they travel the Midwest. Is it the Midwest they went to? It was racist
don't
land
know,
in
but I'm very
America.
glad you said that. It adds a sense of authenticity, and it sounds like you know what the fuck you're talking about when you say something like that.
It was somewhere racist America, like this is South. And,
I thought it was the southern regions.
it was in the South, like,
I thought
the
it
deep
was
South.
southwest.
The deep South, that was the one. Yes, they went there, and this guy is black, and he's gay, and he's a musician, and it's all about the story and the relationship and what they had. The unlikely friendship that bloomed.
Or did it?
Oh, did it? Yes. That's how we need to qualify every plot summary you do.
So, I know that Ben has been eager to talk about this film. We haven't done it. It's a very long time since it's actually come out, and I know Ben has been sitting on this film for a while with a lot to say on it, so we'll let Ben go first.
Well, I think there'll be a lot to talk about, but we'll do the scores up front as always. I watched this a month ago, and at the time that I watched it, there was a lot of controversy coming out about it, which we'll discuss. But I watched it with an open mind, and when it finished, I said 6 out of 10. Perfectly acceptable, standard movie fare. The controversy brings the score down a bit, and also I just didn't think it was that unique or special to give it anything more than a 6. So 6 out of 10.
Lovely.
Go on, Paul.
When I was watching this film, or initially watching this film, I was thinking, this is really odd. And I was thinking, what is this film doing? And then, but by the end, I was like, okay, this is just an average film, so it's a 7 out of 10.
Right,
Okay.
same sort of thing, yes.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Oh, fucking hell, of course. What's wrong with you?
I enjoyed it.
Explain yourself.
I just enjoyed the friendship between them, and I thought they were a very good pair. And I like how it was the two different people from completely two different walks of life, and how they both taught someone about their life, and they both changed each other for the better towards the end of the film. And it was just a nice friendship.
So when you say they taught each other for the better, you mean that Vigo taught the black guy how to be black, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, no.
So when I was initially going to this film, and the conversations started up between the two of them, or well, probably immediately for the Vigo character, because I was like, what is this? He's like a Looney Tunes Italian. He was like so over the top.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was not even it was like watching a cartoon. It wasn't a believable Italian man. And they would, like, everything was cliche Italian that he was doing. And this whole, like, from the hot dog scene, it was like so random. And like, I was like, what the hell is this movie? And then the whole teach him, what's his name? Teaching Mahashala how to be a black man, showing him, oh, go on, eat this chicken. Go on, listen to these black music, this black music. I was like, what is this film doing? I don't really understand.
It was, so this is, okay, so this is exactly it. I agreed 100%. As soon as it started, I'm like, what the fuck? He's such an Italian cliche. All his relatives are talking like old-fashioned Italian cliches. Who gives a fuck if he wins the hot dog eating contest or not, you fat fuck? It's not particularly witty or insightful for us to see that he throws those glasses out after the two black guys drink from them. It's just fucking an annoying, frustrating character trait. So from the off, it's like this. That's why at the time I said this feels like a movie that came out 20 years ago, because you might see that sort of shit 20 years ago because we've seen it so often. My big beef with the film, which I've thought about more as time's gone on, is the fact that, like you say, this white guy teaching this black guy how to be black, but it's also the fact that the black guy exists in this very, very special role that Hollywood carves out for black people, or black roles in films, and it's called the magical Negro role. I don't know if you heard this term before. I only found it out in the last week or so. I read a Spike Lee interview, and he referenced this article, so I read it. And it's not a Spike Lee quote, but there was this article that was written a long time ago that says Hollywood has this thing called the magical Negro. Whoopi Goldberg is it in Ghost. Michael Duncan Smith, I think his name is it in The Green Mile. Morgan Freeman is it in most films. And it's a black character who exists almost outside of their race. So they are black, obviously, and there may be references to their race. But what they actually exist for is to help white people on a journey somehow. Like, they're relatively calm for the most part, like Morgan Freeman always is. They help white people reconnect, like Whoopi Goldberg does with the white couple in Ghost. Michael Duncan Smith, the big, bulky black guy who traditionally might be deemed as intimidating, is actually this soft, gentle giant who helps everyone that he touches, and he can heal, and he helps Tom Hanks. And Morgan Freeman in fucking everything that he does, pretty much. So when I read this article, it made me look back on this film, and it was like, do you know what? That's what this fucking thing is. And it's not necessarily a massively racist issue on that front. It's just that it's a fucking old trope that we need to move past now. Like, you can only make black people palatable in these sorts of films by making them as unthreatening as possible. Mahershala Ali, that's what he represented in this. Whether it was helping Viggo Mortensen write his letters to his wife, or telling him, I know you stole that stone, go back in that shop and hand it over. So yes, it was the magical Negro thing that made me like the film a little less, because it was like, this has happened a lot in films, and once again, the reason that it's probably getting a little bit of Oscar focus is because it is the magical Negro character.
Okay.
And I didn't think it was a buddy friendship.
See, you saying that, it's changed my view a lot on the film now. Like, I didn't think of it that way when I was watching it. Personally, I just saw them as a friendship that was these two different people from completely different walks of life that meet for this and they become friends. But when you look at it like that, it does change the whole dynamic of the film. And again, I didn't really view them. The way you said it is perfect. He's like an angel that's come down to guide this man along, try and make him along his right path, change his ways, and yes, I just saw him as, I don't know, they were like this guy who was almost a bit secluded from life. He had his work around him, and the only guy that he knew him was his butler, and this guy comes along, and it's like they made a genuine friendship through that. Like, they crossed the boundaries, and he was helping him along his way in life and tried changing his life for the better as well.
Yeah, I could dig it. You know what's also bad about that, though, is that that's not what happened in real life.
Yeah.
Because they lied and said that he didn't have connection with his family when he did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
and the director and the writer kept it from Mahershala Ali.
Really? I didn't know that as well. But I saw in the credits it was written by his son, not...
I think his grandson, or maybe his son.
It was his son who wrote the film, and that's probably why it was focused a lot more on his family, and there was a lot more information on him.
Yeah,
because there wasn't a lot of him. It was just his character, rather than you had this whole backstory of him, where it's just him as this person that comes into the film.
And apparently, as well, he got fired as well.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Because he wouldn't do stuff like, he wouldn't wear his cap, like the driver's cap. He wouldn't like open doors.
Right.
Like, being a bit of a dick.
Oh, what you? Sorry, I thought you meant the Vigo in the film got fired.
No,
you meant his actual job in real life.
Yeah, the guy in real life.
But the only other thing I want to talk about is, if you are looking at this as a race point of view, is, I can't remember where I saw it now, but someone summed it up quite well, that the reason why Black Klansman is such a better film than this...
Oh, 100%.
...is because Black Klansman made you feel uncomfortable, and it made you really open your eyes to actually what racism is, and it hit you full force, whereas this
makes
was
you feel
a very soft. They're like almost nursing you into bed while telling you about it, and it's almost like, so you almost, like, I personally left the cinema, almost, you didn't really feel distraught, you didn't feel upset about anything, you kind of just left in a happy, you had a pleasant time watching the film almost.
Which is what,
like, it was these two friends having fun. It was what they were trying to do, but when you left Black Klansman, you still think about that film. I saw it last summer, and you're still thinking about it now. Whereas this, I don't think it will be.
Strip it back. Green Book and Black Klansman. Both are takes on racism in one form or another. You got one directed and written by white men, and one directed and written by a black man. Which one is the one you go to if you want to understand or get a proper look or take at racism? We don't need to be seeing no more white fucking takes on racism. You end up, like you say, with Green Book, perfectly palatable, not really offensive, kind of offensive in places, but generally speaking, just
Also, the one thing that was a bit, I felt they left out of the film, which could have made it a lot better, is the whole term Green Book. I never heard of it before. I personally didn't know it was a thing that existed. They very, very briefly described it, but I thought they could have touched on that a bit more, and they could have almost used that to actually hit home that this was real, because it almost did feel like the whole time it was a film that was made up. You didn't really feel like it was a true story.
No.
Well, it wasn't.
Well,
No,
it was based.
Fiddled all over the place.
But if they had actually hit home that this was what happened, this book was exactly what it was, and this actually went on in day to day.
And like, have you seen that video? Or it's not. You're not in a video. It's a picture of all the directors who are up for Best Director were at some interview, on-stage interview, and there's a picture of the director of this talking, and Spike Lee is just like 360 down. All the other directors are paying attention. Spike Lee's just not giving him one fucking look straight ahead with some pissed off look on his face.
Yeah,
I love Spike Lee, man. But the other little bits of controversy was, one, Peter Farrelly used to get his dick out on set in the past, and the writer posted some pro-Trump, anti-Muslim shit like
that was his son
as well. No, it's the writer.
It was his son, Viggo's son. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, in real life, but
it was his son in real life that wrote the.
That's
thing.
Right.
I saw that. Know about that.
Yeah, so it was sort of steeped in controversy. But like, if you just take the background shit away and view the film, it's offensive for slightly more sinister reasons.
Okay, now looking into this film a bit deeper, I honestly saw it. Well, not see it yesterday, I think. So I haven't done. You've obviously had a little bit more time to research and think. I didn't know a lot about this, like all this controversy that came with it. That I thought when people were talking about the controversy of the film, I thought it was outright pure racism in the film, and
it's it's the undertone of it, man.
It's so subtly racist.
Yeah, but also, this is a film that I could completely understand why someone would give it an 8. Like, it's actually not that surprising to me.
It's not a bad film, that's the whole thing. It's only when you, like you said, it's only when you actually think about it, it would drop your score because of your conscience of the film afterwards. Whereas the acting was well done.
We'll see. Okay, let's talk.
I don't think either of them. I don't think that either of them probably deserve Oscars.
Well.
But it wasn't bad.
Viggo did not deserve an Oscar.
No, he was overplayed in his role. It's like
Viggo
when you
was awful.
It's like when you said last time on Can You Ever Forgive Me, is where it's easier to overplay a role. It's easier to overact than it is to play subtle. But he doesn't deserve to be winning an Oscar for it.
Well, Viggo definitely doesn't.
None of the film, I don't think, deserves to win an Oscar. There was nothing outstanding about the film. It was just everything was okay.
Okay, let's talk about the BAFTAs. At the weekend, what did you think that Mahershala Ali should have won the BAFTA?
I don't know who. I haven't really looked at anyone who won what. So
up against him and Richard E. Grant.
Who won?
He did. Mahershala Ali.
Really?
Yeah. It was the big upset of the BAFTAs because everyone was pretty much sure about everything else, but people were like, "Oh, Richard E. Grant will take the BAFTA because it's like Britain homegrown for him." Okay, I was surprised, but actually thinking about it, even though I enjoyed "Can You Ever Forgive Me" as a film more, I do think Ali's performance was actually probably, I would have to say, better than Richard E. Grant's.
I do like him though. Everything I've seen him in,
he
has played a really good role.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. And I'd probably say they were level pegging him and Richard E. Grant. They both. The only thing is,
the only thing coming back to the Oscars now. Let's talk about this quickly while we're here. He's already won an Oscar though. He won one last year, didn't he, for supporting actor?
What, in Moonlight?
Yeah.
I didn't
and he was only on the screen for 15 minutes, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did win. Yeah.
So he won it last year. So I don't know if they give it to him again for supporting actor.
Have they ever done back-to-back awards at the Oscars for actors? It can't happen very often.
Tom Hanks might have done it.
I don't know how many Oscars Tom Hanks has. Oh no, he probably has got shitloads actually. What did you think of the chicken eating scene?
It's almost like it does give you the characters and way of life, and he's like, well, how do you not know it? Because it's like he's just being racist without almost realising it. When he ate it and he quite liked it, that whole thing is it softens you around to it. It gives you this whole racist scenario, and then it softens you around at the end by putting a little joke on there.
If they could have played it in a totally different way, where he would be like, "Wow, it's actually quite nice, I actually quite like it." But they played it as a joke. They played it where he's eating the chicken, and then it cuts, and he's eating more chicken because the joke was that he really likes chicken because he's a black man.
Yeah,
that was played as a joke. where it's like, no, because that's racist now.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
that was what the whole scene was about, just leading
Yeah.
up to that joke.
Yeah.
But it makes it a joke, so it's nicer for people to watch. It is that whole thing, like Ben said, it is just make it racism palatable
It's the
for people.
softening. Yeah. Like, broadly speaking, these films are now going to be interesting thinking about. Because I think the magical Negro thing is actually quite a fascinating and interesting concept, because...
It's like that whole thing when we did our Women in Film one as well. It goes back to the whole thing of when you look at other minorities represented in the film through race, they always have their set characters.
Yeah.
Whereas the same when you said about women, but you could also do it for every actor out there. They have that set race, and that's what they play.
That's
You know,
right.
and sometimes it's more obvious than others.
Yeah. I know.
So this is very interesting about this film, because I only saw it yesterday. I didn't really. You watch it and you're kind of like, all right, and I haven't really like dissected it and thought about it. But when you actually do sit down and actually think about it, that is when the issues get raised, and that's probably why a lot of people, this film's getting away with it, because people would, you don't. It's not a film that you sit down and then talk to your friends about afterwards. Really, you watch it and that's kind of, it's almost done, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
That's because it's
come
so
out the cinema
average.
and go, oh, did you enjoy that? Oh, yeah, it was all right. Oh, I like that bit there and I like that bit there. And then someone at work, oh, well, how was it? But it's not a film where people actually ask you proper. You don't actually. You're very unlikely to have a proper conversation about it.
Yeah.
Apart from this whole racial
Apart
side
from
of
us.
things. That's all you're
Yeah.
ever going to
Yeah,
talk
but then
about.
because you wouldn't pick up on it if you just thought about it briefly in a quick.
Yeah, but I did
Because
it
it's
straight
not
away. I was
obviously
like, what is this
racist.
film doing? I don't even understand what it's trying to do.
But again, it wasn't obviously racist. It was subtly racist.
It was just
It hides it
clumsy,
very
man.
well.
The
Yeah, it
fucking
was
thing was
clumsy.
clumsily
Yeah.
put together. Like, everything was so... Like, even though it was acted well by the Ali guy, like, moments like, oh yeah, you come and perform at our, like, a stately manner, but you go outside and you use that outhouse for the toilet. It's like, oh man, this is so on the nose. Like, you're trying to deal with racism in that way. And then it felt like they kind of threw... he may well have been homosexual, but it felt like they just threw that in out of nowhere. As if
That
to
was
say,
almost, yeah, it was almost.
this is why he's so misunderstood as well. It's like, no, man. Like, if you were going with one fucking film for an hour and a half, don't now change it up and throw this in as well.
That's the only thing. If they were going to add that in there, you hit it hard. You don't just drop it in. You do one or the other. You either hit that home from the beginning, and you let him obviously make a play of the part of the story. You don't just add it for a scene and then almost forget it in the next scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he basically was at the top of the stairs and he was like, oh, I've seen worse. Or he's nicer to you now because you're gay as well. He likes gays and blacks. He's
Yeah.
coming round to everyone. If this wins awards over Black Klansman,
Yeah, that's
You're
some
talking-
criminal stuff.
but again, it's because it's more palatable. And it's more people more likely to like it because it doesn't hit home and make them feel uncomfortable when people should be making
No.
them feel uncomfortable.
And look, imagine you'd never seen a Spike Lee film before or a film by these guys before. Based on the two films side by side, I'd want to see fucking loads of Spike Lee's films. I wouldn't
I
want
haven't
to see
seen.
another one of this
Honestly,
movie.
for me,
100%.
I haven't seen many Spike Lee films. I think I've seen Klansman and what's
Mate, do yourself a favour and Do the Right Thing. It's
I know I've
Spike
got
Lee's
loads on my
best
list
film.
since watching, literally, like you said, from watching Klansman.
Yeah.
I've got loads in my list, but
Did he do Summer of Sam?
Yeah, he did Summer of Sam.
Yeah. I remember that being quite good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that very much as well.
Mm.
So yes, the conclusion is that this was a whitewashed take on racism,
Yeah.
and they may as well have called it White Book
Yeah.
because it was based on a white book.
It's just so boring. You can 100% tell when it's written by a white person because the story is a white person being all high and mighty because look how good I am to these black people.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about, and it's just like, well, this is boring. It's like
Yeah.
it just shows all the horrible positions that black people get put in, and then just a white man going, "Oh no, that's not right."
I know.
And it's like, so what are you doing? You're not really trying to change it. You're just showing one man just trying to be high and mighty.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
And it's also that denial of racism. It's basically saying, look, we could deal with racism like this. Here we go. That's it.
Yeah.
Rather than, it's. I guess it's also when it came out, because when you think about the end of Black Klansman with all that footage of like the shit that was going on in Charlottesville and that car ramming into the crowd, it's like this shit's happening now. You got Trump in the White House endorsing the fucking KKK, and then you coming out with a film like Green Book.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's just child's play, isn't it?
I just did a quick Google. Fucking this shit goes even deeper, man. Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing lost Best Picture at the Oscars to Driving Miss Daisy. You know what Driving Miss Daisy's about?
God, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the film, but I know what it's about.
Adam, it's like
I've never seen. I've known the film and I haven't seen it.
It's fucking Green Book in reverse.
Yeah, it is.
It's Morgan Freeman as the magical Negro. That's what it is, and it be fucking Do the Right Thing. Man, this is unreal.
Have you seen that?
Why is Spike Lee always going up against this? No, I've not seen it. No,
No.
I haven't seen it.
I can imagine that is exactly what the film is, actually.
You can.
Green Book in
I tell you
reverse.
what. Can't you just imagine already? Like Morgan Freeman will be like smiling to himself while he's being racially abused at the back, going, "All right, if you say so," and all that sort of stuff. And by the end, she's
was
like,
it Morgan Freeman that said, "If you don't talk about racism, it won't be a thing"?
I used to love that quote. And now
Until
I
you
dislike
think about
it
it a bit more.
Yeah, it's
If
denial.
it needs to be spoken about.
It has
It's
to be
like this
spoken
whole film.
about, yeah.
It's like this film compared to Klansman. Which one's going to change people's perception more?
Can you think of a Morgan Freeman film where he has played a black man fighting against the white system?
Shawshank.
Is that a black man fighting against the white system? It's not his story. It's Andy Dufresne's story.
It's a black man in jail.
Yeah.
I know. I just said the only film I can think of, to be honest.
Freeman plays the magical Negro most of the time.
Batman. The Bucket List.
Yes, you're just listing Morgan Freeman films rather than what?
Well, they do hit the point, though. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, with him, yeah. And it's like, fine, you haven't always, as a black actor, it's not like, okay, I don't want to see you always being a black empowerment figure or someone railing against racism or dealing with racism and pushing the movement forward. You ain't got to do that all the time. But it's like, if you consistently choose not to, when your peers are doing that a lot,
Yeah.
and when you continuously fulfill that stereotypical role, like, I'm guilty as well. I'll go, oh, Morgan Freeman's in it. Oh yeah, I'd like to see that. Because you normally think, oh yeah, if it's got Morgan Freeman, left that old Morgan Freeman narration. Fucking hell, I'm thinking even more. $1 Million Baby. It's the reason he narrates over his films the whole time, because it's like having this superstitious
Angel in your voice.
power around him. Yeah, like he knows everything. Man,
Your inner conscience speaking to you, making it okay.
it's an interesting fucking thing.
There's an
So
interesting
Green
behind
Book is actually, I'm glad that we all saw it, because it actually provokes conversation and like actually gets you thinking widely. It's not that it was just a shit film, because it wasn't a shit film.
No.
It
This
wasn't
is
a
the
shit
thing.
film.
I'm now thinking like I'm gonna drop my rating like to a 7.
It's to talk
I'm
about
gonna
the morals of the film.
Yeah, I just look at it. You look at it. If I took it as face value, I just watched the film and walk out. And now talking about it now,
That's the trouble with the world, mate.
That's it.
Can I tell you one thing I did enjoy in this film?
Yeah.
Okay, I enjoyed when they went against a generic storyline when he was in the bar and you see the men looking at his money that he's taken out,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, oh, he's gonna get robbed or something boring. And then Vigo just pulls out his gun and shoots in the air, and they run away. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good way of doing it. They just totally chop that whole story out.
Yeah.
And it also reveals a joke because he's had a gun the whole time.
you know this film has an 8.3 rating on IMDb.
I know, but that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. It's in the top 250 movies on IMDb.
Fucking
Is it?
listen. Do not pay any attention to that top 250 list. That changes like the wind
I know.
every day, every fucking day. Black Klansman has a
Every
7.5 on IMDb.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, because it made people dislike it because it was controversial.
I so wish we'd done Black Klansman as an episode last year. But we all agreed that, we said this on Twitter, that based on our ratings for it, we would have all given it 9. So it would have been our highest rated film of the year, above above even 3 Billboards. That would have been the FilmBusters Film of the Year, Black Klansman.
Yeah, I would. It would 100% be.
Very good. Can I say one thing about Black Klansman?
Yep.
Why the fuck is Adam Driver getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor and John David Washington isn't?
He's leading actor, surely.
He's not even being... Okay, if he's leading actor, he's not even in the fucking categories.
Really?
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, he's not in the categories. Oh my god, Viggo Mortensen is
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They don't deserve that nomination.
fucking ridiculous, man. Awful, awful, awful. The Academy don't know what's doing. This is why I cancel my leave and I will not be watching it. Ridiculous idiots.
It
You'll
is
still
ridiculous.
watch it,
It's
probably.
Harry Potter spells.
Ridiculous. Do you know that Steve Buscemi's brother was in Green Book?
Yeah. Green Book. They mean
Yeah, he
Black
was.
Klansman.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I get well confused.
I saw a fact that apparently someone who was actually represented in Green Book in real life was actually in The Sopranos, one of the actors in The Sopranos. There you go. The real Tony Lip is best known for playing Carmine Luperazzi in The Sopranos and has rolled in several Martin Scorsese films.
Is that true? The real one?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
He played Carmine. Like,
Oh shit, that's Tony Lip. Yeah, and he's in Casino and Goodfellas.
yeah.
Wow, that's the real guy. I mean, not for nothing. Like, I'm not saying I don't know what the deal was with him in real life. I don't know the real story. So
I've watched a lot of films with him. He's been in Donnie Brasco. He's been in Dog Day Afternoon.
he's always
He's
in
been
that
in Raging
mafia
Bull,
shit. You know, he was in the mafia in
Goodfellas,
real life. Clearly.
Sopranos, and The Godfather.
Anyway, I've had enough of talking about that now.
Yeah, I think we're done. Right, guys, thank you for listening. If you like to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us at FilmBustersPod on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, or email us at filmbusters@outlook.com. We also have our own personal Twitter accounts. I'm at FilmBustersPaul.
I'm at FilmBusters Ben.
And I'm at FilmBusters Adam.
Oh my god, he actually said it.
I know, but you notice how I left the pause because I thought Adam was going to go first. Then when I realised he wasn't going to bridge the gap, I had to speak.
I'm not going to lie, I just forget to speak. I wasn't really paying full attention.
We do a thing every episode now where we each say one word to describe the film, and it mostly makes a really nice little send-off for the film. So should we do it
Yes.
now?
Let's.
Okay.
Conflicted.
Troubled.
Palatable.
No, that's good though. That's
That was
good
good.
fucking description, man. If you heard that, you'd be like, "What?"
I think we might lose our job as our one-word describers.
FilmBusters.